Chatters, chatties, welcome home for a Great American Chat, a podcast where we chat about great American media. I'm Chad Maurice, and I am pleased to have in the house today the writer and director of the Great American Christmas movie, Destined at Christmas, Brittany Wiscombe. Brittany, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Now, I got to tell you, I watched Destined at Christmas this past Saturday, and I loved it. I thought it was a really good movie.
Good.
And everyone on Twitter loved it too, just so you know, because I was live tweeting. I was live tweeting while it was going on.
Awesome.
But before we talk about the movie, I want to talk a little bit about you. Where did you grow up, and how did you get into screenwriting and filmmaking?
I grew up a few different places, but I more in the American South, and then moved out to Utah and studied print journalism of all things. And I did that because I didn't want to just study English. I wanted to do something more than English, but I didn't quite know what. And then Brian Bruff, who's a producer and also my brother, he got me into film, into that industry. And kind of with that, eventually started writing. And it's been kind of quite the journey. But I didn't really start out seeking to be a screenwriter, but here I am.
Oh, so when you went to college, you majored in journalism?
Yep.
Ah, so did you want to be a journalist? Did you want to work in a newspaper or something, or
what? No, I think if I thought it through more. Once I started, doing an internship and doing and just going through it, I'm like, okay, I like what I learned about writing, but I don't like the industry is not for me. It's just not my thing. It never stops. And it just seems a lot more stressful and not always fun. So thankfully, I'm in an industry that is a lot more fun now.
Did Brian get you into writing films as soon as you got out of college, or what?
No, that kind of just happened because I've always liked writing, but I always just did it for fun on the side. And so it's neat to see that, hey, I did something with a hobby and it became a reality. So for those aspiring writers out there, it can happen.
Now, had you ever written books or short stories or anything?
Yeah, short stories, never a book.
Oh, okay.
Just more for myself, not really for publication or anything.
Okay. Now, you've written a lot of films, and Great American Family has been showing a lot of these films, such as Identical Love, Sense and Sensibility, An Hour Behind, Prescription for Love. They've been showing a lot of these. I mean, the network has pretty much become the Bruff Wiscombe network.
Well, it's great to have such a wonderful station like Great American Family. And I don't know, it's been wonderful to have their support and to find a home for our films and have that synergy there.
Now, describe your writing process. Do you start by writing like a paragraph summary of what the movie is about and then elaborate and start writing scenes based on that, or how's it work?
Yeah, I think it always starts with a little concept. And then you start building upon that. How's it really going to work? What's your audience? But I'll get to the stage where I write an outline, and it'll be, 5 to 8 pages, something like that, where I've really thought out all the beats of the story. And I'll use that. And then when I get to the actual writing the script stage, I'll just use that and expand upon it, and things will change, but that's kind of my process.
Okay. Now, how do you come up with your ideas for the movies? Where does that come from?
I don't know, kind of like, I would assume everybody else is kind of like things they hear, things they just randomly think of, or, just a little tidbit of something that you're exposed to where you're like, oh, and then you pull at that thread and it takes you in a new direction. We do a lot of movies where we're traveling a lot and seeing different parts of the world. So that will spark a lot of ideas and creativity as well.
Okay. Now, are you also involved in the casting process?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Now, you've also written, I know, some Lifetime thrillers. Do you have a preference? Do you like writing the thrillers or the romantic dramas?
The romantics. Well, yeah, definitely. The thrillers are just need to be a little bit more puzzling, and also I like the romances just to be able to, I always feel comfortable with what's on the screen with those, with my kids around. And with the thrillers, I'm not sure I always feel as comfortable with that.
Okay. All right. Now, when I chatted with your brother Brian a few months ago, I told him that Christmas Angel was one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Oh, great. It's a really special one. It's got a lot of heart.
Yeah, I love this movie because of the Christmas theme that it has in it. And I love that the love story is like the B storyline. It's not the main storyline. It's about the main storyline is about this guy who's giving these anonymous gifts to people and doing nice things for people at Christmas time, and how he passes that tradition on to this woman that he meets. I just love that story.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, it's a really nice one. I like it a lot.
How did you come up with that?
Oh my goodness, that was a while ago. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I mean, Great American
I think
Family is showing in this movie right now.
I think what we really wanted to do was just have something kind of that spirit of Christmas, of helping one another, and I think that was kind of the spark for it, was how can we make something that's a feel good, but also kind of makes you want to do something for somebody you may not even know.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk about Destined at Christmas. It premiered this past weekend. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the 5th Christmas movie you've written and the first that you've directed, right?
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Okay. Okay. For those who haven't seen the movie, give me a little synopsis. Tell me what it's about.
Well, it's about two strangers who meet on Black Friday. And if you've ever done the Black Friday madness, you know that it is madness. And they have that connection and spend time together shopping, and then are pulled apart by kind of a power outage scenario. And how do you find this person that you keep thinking about? And so they kind of go through their holiday plans, but each trying to get back to each other and find each other, just to find out if there's more to it than just that one night.
Now, how'd you come up with this story?
Honestly, the Black Friday madness, that was kind of the instigator. I'm just like, huh. I had the idea for years now, but maybe it's because I was standing outside in the cold early one morning with maybe it was at Target. I think I was in the line for Target, and I was doing the Black Friday shopping thing, and I was just thinking, oh, that'd be kind of cool for people to meet this way, and that kind of be the catalyst.
Oh, that's where it came. You know, my mother took me to Target one year on Thanksgiving night, and it was a mob scene. We stood in line for 45 minutes at the cash register. The line
Yep.
went all the way across the store. It was crazy.
Yep. It's kind of an acquired taste. I don't really do it as much anymore, but yeah, every now and then it's kind of fun just to work off the turkey, if nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. Now, how did you go about casting Shay and Casey for this one?
I actually had worked with both of them before,
Mhm.
and so with any project, we're kind of already trying to think, okay, who might be good for this, and then we might have auditions, or open it up for the different roles, and see audition videos for those. But I kind of always had the two of them in mind, and they're good friends in real life,
Oh, okay.
and so the biggest thing was just, hey, are you guys comfortable playing this type of role, a romantic type of role? And so I chatted with both of them about it. They both thought it over and felt comfortable with it. So it's like, hey, what's your schedule like? So we took it from there.
Yeah, Shay was in Identical Love,
Uh-huh.
and Casey was in Retreat to Paradise, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Now, what type of director are you? Are you the type that's glued to the script, or do you let the actors improvise a little?
I'm okay with some improvisation as long as it doesn't have a domino effect, messing up something that happens down the road. So, especially like I'm not. I like it when actors take, here's the line, give me what the line means, and unless there's a real reason to change it, go ahead and give it to me as it is. But
Hmm.
I don't have a problem making it, the expression, and even some of the wording, make it yours. How would you say it?
Hmm.
I think that's something that they can bring to the table that makes it feel so much more real.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, your production company, that your family owns, Silver Peak Productions. I know It's based in Utah, and early on, a lot of your films were filmed in Utah. But then you've been branching out and filming in a lot of exotic places. I know.
Yes.
What about this movie? Where was this one filmed?
This one was filmed entirely in Utah.
This was in Utah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
with the Christmas movies especially, we get snow in Utah and it's cold,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it kind of helps.
Now, was this one of those that was filmed in the summer, or was it filmed when there was snow on the ground?
Oh no, we filmed it in early February, and so
Oh, okay.
some of the scenes you're seeing real snow, and at times it was kind of a pain because the snow doesn't fall consistently as you're shooting.
Hmm.
So from one scene to the next, or one angle from to the next, you might have to make some adjustments afterwards with visual effects to bring it to life and help it feel more even. But it was good. It was really, you can't count on snow in Utah, or at least by your timetable. But it comes, but not always where we're filming. But it was nice and um, brisk in temperature.
Was it? Was it? Well, that's good. That's good. At least they weren't sweating, wearing all the layers of clothes
Yeah,
like they
definitely
do in
not.
a lot of these movies. Now, how exciting is it for you to see your name up on the screen like this?
It's exciting, but it's always nerve wracking because it's like, okay, do I need to duck for the tomatoes, or
I asked,
but
I
yeah, it's
asked,
exciting.
I asked Brian that, and he said he doesn't have a big ego. He doesn't care. He doesn't get into that.
I don't even watch it. Like it's kind of my thing. I don't even watch them when they premiere, just because I'm just it's out of my hands. I can't do anything about it, and so I don't want to fret and be nervous about it. So I just don't watch it when it shows.
Oh, really? Really? Now, when the movie opens up, we see the shopping center. Was this an actual shopping center in Utah somewhere?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so how did you like rent the whole shopping center so you could film this for a few days or what?
Yeah, we get permission to film there, and it's a wonderful place to film at down in Provo, called the River Woods, and they're just really great to work with. They have all these beautiful lights, and we augment where we need to, but they make it feel magical anyway. So we just enhance that and makes our job a little easier.
Yeah, now in February you had to put up some Christmas decorations then, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
always the issue. Unless you're actually filming in December, it's really hard to
Uh-huh.
count on enough decorations.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now the movie opens, we see your characters, Kim and Theo. They're shopping on Black Friday morning. Now, how do you usually come up with your character names?
I'll be honest, name dice.
Oh, really?
Have you seen like there's little apps you can get for like name dice and
Uh-huh.
whatnot?
Yeah.
Or I'll like scroll through like baby name searches, things like that, because if not, yeah, you want something that stands out enough, but not too much that it's distracting. And sometimes it's nice just to have a nice traditional name that doesn't make you think twice about how to spell it. And yeah, so I go back and forth with that.
Okay. Okay. Do you ever use like friends or family members that you know? You say, I like their name, I'll use their name.
Um, Occasionally, but I try not to, because then you have that person in your head, right?
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah, and especially if it's for a villain or somebody who's not the nicest character, you can't do that. It's
Now, Thanksgiving weekend is my favorite weekend of the entire year, and I love how this movie begins on Black Friday morning. You said you came up with that idea because you were shopping at Target one year on Black Friday. Now, when you were filming these scenes, what time of day were these scenes shot? Because it's dark.
um yeah, and being February, it got dark around 6, 7 o'clock,
Hmm.
more like 6. So pretty much as soon as we could, we start filming. As soon as the sun was down, we would start filming these scenes, and
Oh,
we
okay.
had 3 all-nighters in a row.
I was wondering if you were shooting at like 2 a.m. in the morning or something.
Yep, yep, we had to do that. I don't think we went the full day or anything. We were able to get most of it done. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Time makes my memory fuzzy, but it was still cold. Exterior night shoots in February can be a little bit tricky.
Uh, uh-huh. Now, the scenes that were shot in the store, these were actual stores, right? That you used?
Yeah, yeah, that was a lovely store called Teton Toys, and they were just so wonderful to work with and very accommodating. And yeah, that worked out
So
really well.
did they close the store for you so you could shoot these scenes?
No, we didn't want to inconvenience them that way
Oh,
because
okay.
as a business owner, I could see that being kind of hey,
Uh-huh.
this impacts things a little bit more. So we were able to work it where we came in after closing hours.
Oh, after closing hours. Okay. I was good. That was my next question. I was going to ask about the background actors, if they were hired actors or if they were shoppers in the store while you were filming.
Those were marvelous background actors.
Okay. Now, what about the supporting cast? Were they all local Utah actors?
Yes, yeah, we have a nice talent pool, and it's neat on this one with so many different roles to be able to meet and work with new people that I hadn't before.
No, okay. All right. Now, in this one scene, you can see here where Kim and Theo are having breakfast on that Black Friday morning. They're
Mhm.
in a restaurant. Was this filmed in an actual restaurant that you used?
That's actually a set that our
Oh, that's a
wonderful
set.
yeah, yep.
Oh. Oh, it is. Oh, I thought you used you're in an actual restaurant. What about when she was having dinner with her ex, Zach, I
Uh,
think. Was that a restaurant or was that a set too?
Also a set.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. Okay. Well, it looked real.
Good, good. Our production designer, Anthony, will be thrilled.
Now, in this scene, they're telling each other up about their holiday traditions, and he mentions to her about a gingerbread contest that he does with his daughter, and she talks about seeing a Christmas carol with her family and going to a Christmas village on Christmas Eve. Then during the film, they actually go to these activities to try to find each other. How was it tough coming up with ways for the characters to just keep missing each other, showing up at these events and just missing each other by a second?
Um, no, I mean, I had to give it some thought and make sure that it would work, but that was
Uh-huh.
kind of the fun part of just, oh, how do you get them just close enough? And then there's going to be that near miss. So yeah, that was kind of the fun part for me that I thought was neat to weave in throughout the story.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was because they would like one would go out one door, the next one would come in the door and another door. Yeah. Now here we see Theo and his daughter Ashley, played by Casey's actual daughter. Now,
Yep.
whose idea was it to cast his actual daughter to play his daughter?
When I was looking at who to cast for that role, Casey had suggested, "Hey, would you like to see an audition with my daughter?" And I said, "Yeah, sure," because I had a few people in mind, but it's there's not lots of people in Utah, not lots of kid actors to choose from. And he sent me over the audition video, and I just thought, this just felt so real because it was. But
Uh-huh.
and she did a great job. Eve did a great job of just preparing and um, just a nice childlike enthusiasm for everything, which felt very
Mm-hmm.
Christmassy to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had the natural father-daughter chemistry, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Eve
Yeah.
talks like how she normally talks. She didn't try to make herself sound like a child more or anything like that. She's just being who she is, and I loved that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, had she acted before?
I think she'd had like a couple of small parts, but this was like the first thing with, I think, lines. So she did a fantastic job.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. Oh, and I love this scene when it shows them sleeping on the floor in front of their tree and in front of the fireplace. This was really fun.
Well, it's neat to be able to take those things because I mean, I still do that with my kids, and I
Oh, do
remember
you?
doing that when I was a kid. And I'm like, I mean, that's just part of Christmas, being able to spend time together and be uncomfortable for a night, but as you kind of bask in the excitement of the coming holiday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk houses. Were these actual houses that you used in somewhere in
Uh,
Utah? Were these
yes, not always for what they seem on the inside, but they are actual houses. But we
from
would
the
sometimes,
outside? They're
yeah, the
actual
outside and
houses.
the inside aren't always the same.
Yeah, I was going to ask you whether the inside were sets or were those insides of the houses.
Yeah, they're all actual homes, but we kind of would pair different ones together, just depending on what look we wanted on
I
the outside.
gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. I always like to know I like to get the behind the scenes scoop on how films are made. What about the street shots? Is this Provo right here? These streets
I have
they
no idea
use?
where that is, but there's the miracle of stock footage. So
It's a stock footage. Oh, is it? Okay.
it could be.
Well,
I don't quite know, but
you
yeah,
always
there's
have to have those. Now, Kim in
yeah,
this movie, the character Kim is a let me see if I pronounce this right. Paleontologist.
paleontologist. Yep.
Okay, so this museum that's filmed with dinosaurs. Was this an actual museum?
Yeah, it's up in north of Salt Lake, and just a wonderful
Oh,
museum called it's the Ogden Dinosaur Park. And they
oh,
have this
neat.
wonderful museum inside, and then outside they have like dinosaurs statues in a park. But it was February, so we weren't going to go out there. But yeah, that's kind of a nice place, and I liked a different profession for
Yeah,
our main character.
that's what I was going to say. I've never heard of an actor or actress in one of these movies that one of the main characters working with dinosaurs. I thought that was so fascinating.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah, that was a nice switch. All right, this movie takes place over the entire month of December, and to show the passing of time, we always saw Kim moving the little wreath on her Christmas calendar.
Hmm.
I want to know where did you find this calendar?
I think Amazon.
Did you really? Oh, that's funny.
Yep. Yep. So if anybody really wants that same advent calendar, look it up. Just scroll through. You'll probably find the same one. But I
Oh,
loved it
that's
as a
hilarious.
storytelling device to kind of help us move through and see where we are in their hunt for each other and in the month of
Oh yeah,
December.
yeah, I love that. It showed the passing of time because when I was live tweeting with others watching this, people on Twitter were saying, "Hey, where do I find that calendar? I love that calendar." That's funny. I'll have to reply to some of those tweets and say Amazon. Now, near the end of the movie here, this Christmas village on Christmas Eve. What was this an actual setting or was this built for the film? Where was this?
It's an actual setting. It's kind of a theme park of sorts, called Evermore, here in
Ah,
Utah. And they have just kind of this charming medieval old world type feel of buildings and cottages and things like that. And they do a lot for Christmas. They do some for Christmas, and of course we were kind of beyond that. So actually a lot of what you see in the Christmas decorations was um, our art team doing that as well. I can't remember exactly what they had compared to what we brought, but at
mhm.
Christmas time they do bring it to life and have some people to come walk through, enjoy it. And so we kind of, okay, this is a great setting, and what can we have happen here? And so we took that as kind of okay, here's our setting, and let's build more around it, and do the Santa send off and everything else with it.
Oh, that's good. Oh yeah. Speaking of the Santa send off, I've got a screenshot here of this Christmas village with Santa riding on a train. I want to know how many Santas did you audition for this?
Just the one. I think we'd worked with him before, if memory
Oh,
serves.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you what the key is to casting a perfect Santa. Does he need a real beard?
I can't remember. I think his was real, actually. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't remember for sure, but he
It
was a
looked
trooper.
real. It looked real.
Yeah, yeah, and he was a trooper out there in the cold with everybody.
Was he? Was he? I've seen a lot of Santas in a lot of Christmas movies, and some of them have the fakiest looking beard. But his was good. His was good.
Yeah.
Now in this movie, do you have a favorite scene that you shot?
Okay, from which perspective? From a visual perspective or from a story perspective
Oh,
or an acting
oh,
perspective? Because they're all different answers.
oh. Well, I was going to ask you if you had a favorite scene that you shot and a favorite scene that you wrote.
Okay, all right. So let's see, from a shooting perspective, I'm going to bypass the experience of it because it was really
Okay.
cold.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I'd say these ending scenes, of them in the Christmas village, that was really fun to shoot, and I like how it turned out and just how um, I don't know, just felt just like you're in the thick of Christmas. So I
Uh-huh.
really like that. For writing, let's see. I really actually writing wise love the some of the just fun interactions between Kim's character and Kim and her sister-in-law, Vicky. Um, and just kind of how she's the confidant of trying to find Theo. And they had a really quick scene of just, oh, sorry, your ex-boyfriend's here for dinner, and just kind of just quick little moments. I just love how they portrayed that.
Hmm.
And then the on Theo's family side, a lot of the scenes with Sharon, the woman who really is vying for Theo's heart,
Hmm.
she
Yeah. Yeah.
just did a great job of, and just it made it kind of fun for me in a oh, I feel bad for you because you don't know what he's thinking, but just kind of cute interactions there as well. Like I think there's a scene. Okay, I know there's a scene. There's a scene between her, Sharon, and then what was I can't remember character names. Is this bad? But anyway, the two sisters,
Uh-huh.
um, and she's
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I'm making breakfast. You can help, do the pancakes." And she's like,
Yeah.
"I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
found them," and I just felt that was just kind of a fun
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
aside that you probably don't
Sh-
see, but probably happens a lot.
Yeah, Sharon said, "Oh, I don't know how to make breakfast or something like that." And she says, "Well, just grab a whisk and I'll show you or something, or follow
Yeah,
along or something like
yeah,
that."
yeah. Basically, we'll fake it, and it'll
Yeah,
impress them or something.
yeah, yeah. And and what was it? Her family kept inviting her ex over all the time to family gatherings.
Yep, yep. The mom who can't let go of the one that got away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, what about? Do you have any future projects that you're allowed to talk about?
I am. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure about my ability to talk about it or not, but we have a film that we're shooting in the Caribbean
Oh, nice.
coming up. And then we've got one we're shooting in England next year. And we're looking at doing another Christmas movie early next year while it's still winter.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
always keeping busy.
Oh, okay. Are you going to be directing more?
Um, if it makes sense to, for me, I enjoy directing and I'd love to do it again, but sometimes it's just a matter of where does it line up in the schedule between what I need to write
Hmm.
and if there's time for me to direct or if that's something Brian would direct. So I'm fine with whatever it is. There's not really much ego here. It's
Uh-huh.
just, it'd be a nice to do type of thing, but I'm okay with whatever makes sense
And, th-
for us to get our
and then,
projects done.
then there's another guy in your operation. I think his name's John that also directs some, right? John
Yeah, yeah,
Lied or
John
Lind or
lied.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we've worked with him on and off on different things. He often
Hmm.
is our director of photography. In fact, he was the director of photography on this film as well. So
Hmm.
a nice collaborative partner.
Hmm. Now I asked Brian, does Brian ever approach you with movie ideas and say, "Hey, I have an idea for this movie. Go write it and see what you come up with."
All the time.
All the
Yep,
time? Oh, really?
yep. Yeah, it's kind of a running joke that when he says, "Hey, I have an idea," that I internally groan because but although right now it's kind of like, okay, we've got enough ideas on our plate. I've got enough scripts that I'm working on right now. So I don't think he's going to bother me with anything like that. But when things start to slow down or we look ahead and there's not as much on our schedule, that's when those type of statements come up where he's like, I have an idea.
Oh. So how long does it take you when you have an idea for a film? How long does it take you from the moment you have an idea to where you finally have the script all written and finished?
Well, it depends. There's always the idea and then when I'm going to start writing it. So when I get to the active part of, hey, I'm going to start writing it, because
Yeah.
we kind of slate them of, hey, we've got our schedule and we're going to put them in wherever
Hmm.
they fit. So I'm not
Hmm.
going to work on it until it moves up,
Hmm. I
until I
see.
finish everything else ahead of it in priority. Um, yeah, so I think once I start writing, it can
Hmm.
be as little as a week.
Oh,
Uh,
wow,
and
really?
Yeah, for a decent first draft, and then we'll revise it after that. It's not like I do
Uh-huh.
the first
Right,
draft and I'm like, here we go. There's always the
right,
refinement.
right.
But it could take a couple of months. There's some scripts ideas that have been like, oh my goodness, this is not flowing for me. So it's a bit more of a struggle, but normally in the revision process, I figure out why it was such a struggle. So
Oh, wow. Okay, okay. I have a couple questions here. They have nothing to do with your career or anything. Just personal questions.
sure.
What's your favorite movie you've ever seen?
Hmm. Favorite movie I've ever seen. Um, I don't know.
You don't
I've got
know?
kind of like my running ones different ones I like. I really liked Last Samurai. Um,
Oh, okay.
I like I love Devil Wears Prada. I thought that was just
Oh,
a
yeah, yeah,
brilliant
yeah.
journey with the character. That was fun the whole time. Um, yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know that I have one favorite movie. Oh, I love A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2, those type of movies. I'm actually
Okay.
not into the horror genre, but that was just kind of a cool family survival drama, which I really kind of enjoyed.
Oh, all right. Now, do you have a favorite movie that you've written? How's that?
Um,
That's a tough question.
I have different ones that I like for a while and then like it gets replaced. So right now, I'm very pleased with Destined at Christmas. I also really liked Love in Aruba, and just kind of the how that turned out, especially just felt very just a lot of heart to it. So
Hmm.
probably those two are right now in my top 10. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Now, in this movie, their characters talked about Christmas traditions. Do you and your family have any Christmas traditions that you do every year?
My husband and I kind of bicker about when we're going to put up the Christmas decorations because I'm like, right after Halloween, I'm okay to
Uh-huh.
put them up, and he thinks we should wait longer. But yeah, so that's kind of our tradition, if you will, of when is it going to fall. We used to have a certain date in November that we would put it up, but I've kind of moved that earlier so we can enjoy the Christmas decorations more often. What else do we do? We spend, Christmas Eve with one side of the family and Christmas Day with the other, and have our own little family Christmas at times. Yeah, yeah,
How about putting up a tree? Do you do it before Thanksgiving or after?
definitely before Thanksgiving. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So my husband's like, maybe let's wait till after Thanksgiving. I'm like, no, 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 no. If you know how long it takes up to put this tree up, let's enjoy it more. So definitely before.
Well, Brittany, this has been fun getting to know you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you were able to come on and chat a little bit.
Thank you for having me.
Tell people about what your social media handles are so people can follow you and your career.
I'm at Brittany Wiscombe on Instagram, and I'll admit I'm kind of new at it. I've been trying to withstand it, but I've gotten sucked in now. So you can find me there.
Sucked in. What about you on Twitter or anything?
No, no.
No
See,
Twitter?
that's how slow adopter I am on social media.
Okay. Okay. Well, Destined at Christmas will be on again. Check your schedules. It'll be on the next couple months, several times, I'm sure. So just go to the Great American Family website to check that out. And Brittany, once again, thank you. And thank you, chatters, for being here. And until next time, you keep the faith, keep smiling, keep your friends close, and keep your Great American Family closer.
Thanks, Chad.